Hello? This thing on?
Hi.
Welcome back to the 8-Bit Show.
Yep.
Yep. Did I confuse you?
Oh,
Hip Hop Hooray?
let's go.
Oh, that other one. That's fair. How you guys doing?
Good.
You know, living the dream.
Yeah.
Doing dream-like things.
Doing dream-like things. That's fair too, I suppose. Yeah, with me today are my lovely cohorts in the podcasting. Got Coffee and Corndogs.
Hello.
And Two Littles 505. And I'm Frankie 1029. I said it right this time.
Which
About time. Yeah, never gonna pronounce that.
Nope.
10029.
Yeah. But we're here to talk to you about video games and nerdy news and stuff and all the things.
We're not late at all. You're late.
Yeah, we're well, I guess I'm a day late and a dollar short, so now I finally get what that meaning or what that saying means. So accurate. Yeah. Guys, have any good news?
Good news?
Yeah, good news.
No.
That's kind of a tall order.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do have news.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Well, that's good.
I guess.
You got more news than me. Not a surprise.
Of course.
You know, it's been
always left to do it.
Hey, I went and looked through and like I don't know. None of the news was like particularly striking other than the two that I found. But
But you know, I didn't look through the news, and you do always have to do it, Christian. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what's in the contract. Don't look over the contract. It doesn't. We don't want to talk about the compensation portion.
The what?
Yeah, exactly.
I get compensated in exposure. That was the deal.
I guess you want to start it off, Christian?
I guess I can.
It's Jeff.
Always up to me.
You don't have to. You really don't.
Whatever would we do without Christian, folks?
Right?
Yeah, I guess I can start with a little bit of some kind of cool news. Have you ever lost like a save file on a game?
Have I ever?
Yeah. Definitely. I remember this one time when I lost Ashley's save file.
Like losing your own
I'm
save
sure
file.
she was thrilled.
Yeah, you don't remember talking about that previously?
I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It was sad. I still feel bad. Clearly.
You got turned into a YouTube short.
Yeah, I did.
Conversation on it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember you guys talking about that.
Oh, I have memory.
I'm as surprised as you are.
Well, go on, Christian. Tell us.
Go off,
Tell us what I could have done if I had done erased Ashley's save file today instead of 12 years ago.
I don't know if it would have worked on that game.
Oh shit.
But a big disaster was averted for a No Man's Sky player.
Oh.
Whose 611-hour game file got corrupted somehow with a bug.
Wow.
And they did like the normal thing a normal person would do at that point, which is get on Twitter and complain about it.
Yeah. That is the normal thing.
That's what I would have done.
Scream into the void. Yep.
But it happened to be picked up. The story happened to gain traction and got picked up by one of the developer engineers for No Man's Sky.
Wow.
And he got on there after texting or after commenting to him that they'll take a look. And I don't know how long exactly it took them, but they were able to get a fix for it.
Holy jeebs.
As apparently the glitch that was happening was fairly well known. Fairly well known glitch.
Wow.
So, kind of a cool little
a 25-day run. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's 25 days, 611 hours. It had like some weird flickering thing, which you can kind of see in a little video that they put up on their Twitter. After the fact, after he was done, Martin Griffiths is the manager that saved it, the engineer. He says one of the most humbling things about being an engine and platform engineer on No Man's Sky is receiving a save file demonstrating a bug submitted to Zendesk, verified to QA, with instructions on how it occurred, and then helping to fix it. It's a 600-hour plus save.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, people don't go expecting to get this sort of treatment anytime it happens to you, but it's cool that they were able to do it.
It does point out to one good thing though, like if you do experience weird bugs and stuff like that, with today's technology, it's pretty easy to like record some of that, and really sometimes all you need to do is submit a like video and stuff on the problems you're having.
Well, what's really cool too is, I mean, OBS, what we use to stream, that like it's so easy to set up to record your computer, and that way you can capture a quick video with sound and everything if you need it, to submit to developers, whether it comes to games or software,
even NVIDIA's recording software works really well for stuff like that.
Yeah, and actually don't forget too that all Windows PCs, they come with the Xbox app built in, and I don't know if that also includes the game bar, but that also has a video recording option for your screen. So
I would assume it does. I think at least the game bar used to be like
it has like
to run the other app.
Yeah. I remember.
I don't know if it's required anymore to run the other app though.
Yeah, like that's the thing with the way that Microsoft does things. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
yeah, who knows?
That little caveat there, in case it's not. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was my first bit of news.
Yeah. Okay.
A cool guy got lucky and got his 611-hour save.
Right.
Saved.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Right.
Got my saves back.
Yeah, I remember a few saves I would have really liked to have back.
Indeed. Oh man. You know what? Actually, speaking of, Walking Dead, the Telltale series.
Yeah.
It doesn't do cloud saves on Steam.
Huh.
Really, really disappointing. And a little frustrating to get your save moved over from one computer to another if that's what you're trying to do.
Right, yeah.
By the way,
do that the old-fashioned way.
Yep. I mean, thankfully with networking, it's a little easier now, but still, yeah, annoying. So let's see. So what I got here is from The Gamer. Elder Scrolls Online narrative director has responded to the non-binary companion backlash. Recently, a new companion.
They should never respond to that backlash. It's pointless and hopeless. You'll never convince these bigoted people otherwise.
Oh no, but I'm glad that they did respond because they had quite a bit to say, honestly. Pointing out because I mean the whole backlash was like, oh, that doesn't belong in this game. Like, it doesn't even make sense to the world of Elder Scrolls. Which it does.
It's a fantasy world. Are you kidding me?
Well, like, that's not even like the biggest point against it, against that argument, if you could call it an argument. But there's gay and lesbian characters inside of the game itself. They even have like pride parades that have been put on. So like it just makes sense. Not to mention, like you said, because it's a fantasy game, you have characters that have appeared as both male and female. The director on here, he points out like the Daedric princes, they can do that. So like it is literally part of the world, and nobody in the game, none of the characters have ever batted an eye at any of that. So for it to be this new thing that's coming up, I don't know, I guess it seems odd because they have been very inclusive. So it's just people looking, anytime they see it, they gotta complain about it. Oh yeah,
like never. That's why I said like arguing with these people is pointless.
It is pointless. It's just weird though, on top of it, that it's something, it's not even new. It's not a new thing to this world. And so it's almost like either A, you haven't been playing the game or playing very little of it, or you don't play the game and you saw that this was added in and decided to be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the new thing, is complaining about the game so much of having like any bit of inclusivity or even like just acknowledge that, pronouns are real.
Right.
And all of a sudden that group goes just
insane
for like, there's no other way to call it or anything else to call it. They'll straight say like a bad game is good because it doesn't have any of that. Yeah. Or a good game is like the worst game to be ever made.
Yeah, and they did go on to say that they actually made sure that they found good representation to actually bring the character and do the writing for the storyline. So Vico Ortiz, who did the voice of Tanlorin, they're non-binary, as well as the writer Andrew Sainez de la O. They're also non-binary as well.
So there's really absolutely nothing to complain about on all sides. Like even the voice actor and writer of that character knew what they were talking about. Have lived experiences as this.
Well, like my takeaway is, if you guys don't like it, get the fuck out of Tamriel.
Yeah,
right.
For real.
Yeah.
We're an inclusive fantasy land.
Except for you. You get out.
Yeah.
I have been told to get out before, but that's mostly because I am an orc that runs around in like nothing but my skivvies all the time.
Yeah, that's different.
That's just a good look.
It is. I'm very muscular. I like to show it off.
Yeah, man. Seems like you worked hard on that. I'd show everybody.
Yeah, plus I got it all tattooed. I got all those cherry blossoms all put on my body.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
true.
gotta show that shit off.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess we'll forgive you.
This time.
I'm usually welcomed with open arms in Tamriel.
Oh yeah, no.
That's because I'm a high enough level that most people just back away. And I'm a tank, so people are like, hey,
Right.
tank guy.
But in the community, you'll be generally very accepting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for whatever this new Elder Scroll crap is.
Yeah.
I said generally.
I was to
There's
deal
always people.
with the Elder Scrolls Online crowd, so they're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, usually playing that game, I don't have any problems with anybody.
Oh yeah.
Usually everyone's super nice.
Right. Yeah. It's been a while since I picked it up. Might need to.
I think the last time we were all playing was the last time I played.
Yeah.
The Gold Road came out.
I played a little bit since.
The Witches Festival still going on right now, right?
No.
Oh no,
I don't think so.
It ends like immediately after Halloween.
That's pretty quickly.
Yeah, I thought
We'll
so.
get pumpkins this year.
It probably
Fucked up.
ended today, being
Oh yeah.
being Sunday, or it ends
Right.
Tuesday.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I don't know. I've done that one so much.
I know.
Usually, my playing of that game falls around that.
I know. Same here. That's why I was wondering, because I've done it so many times. It's good stuff though. It's a good little quest. But yeah, that's it for that one.
That one and the Winter's Quest are always one that I end up doing.
Mm-hmm. I don't see dates on here, but oh well. All right, what else you got?
I'm supposed to have other stuff?
You do have other stuff.
I do. That's true. And more wholesome type news. Gearbox is doing something kind of cool. For a terminally ill fan.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be flying I got his stuff here. Caleb McAlpine, who got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I'm not sure what kind.
Mm-hmm.
He's been given like 7 to 12 months
Dang.
to live. And he, kind of reached out after that and was just like, hey, if anyone knows how to get a hold of Gearbox Studios, or if anyone can get me in touch with them. I was like, I just got diagnosed with cancer and I don't have long to live, but I would really love to see the new Borderlands game before I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was obviously rather quickly responded to, with people, but like commenters and people in the industry reaching out to him,
Mm-hmm.
and got him in touch with the right people. And so Gearbox has announced that they were pretty quickly to respond, saying that they want to do everything they can for this fan, and trying to put together a build. And sure enough, it came together. It looks like he'll be flying out to see a pre-build copy
Yeah.
of the game. which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. That is really cool. Well, hopefully he can make it a bit longer, maybe. Because I mean, when did they start developing the game? Just recently, right? Or has it been in the works for a bit?
They've been going for a while. I mean, at least a couple years that they've been working on it. I'm sure that they have enough to show something fun.
Oh yeah, no, very probably.
Especially as they're starting to like ramp up showing that game off and marketing that game. I've seen a whole bunch of Borderlands 4 stuffs. But yeah, he's a 37-year-old veteran. Caleb is. And he stated where his series, his love for the series came from like his time in the army.
Oh yeah,
he would have Borderlands parties in the house or barracks where they'd put together like 3 or 4 TVs and play.
Right.
Ever since the first Borderlands, and just express his downright enjoyment of the fun of those games. And he's right, Borderlands games are fun. But it's nice to see something take place.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, regardless of what company it is, it's nice for them to still at least have the wherewithal to reach out and help individuals and whatnot. And
yeah, of course there was fundraisers that popped up for him right off the bat.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. I don't know where it was at, but he did have one that raised over $12,000.
Wow.
Dollars, which is 134% of their original goal on that, and that was just to cover medical expenses, gas for travel, and food because of his highly restrictive diet that he will be on for the foreseeable future. So basically to help his family burden that cost because our healthcare ain't gonna do it. Yeah, it's nice to see.
Right, which is unfortunate because I mean, being a veteran, it's like
it should, right?
It really should. You would think of all the insurance you can get.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice little article on PC Gamer by Harvey Randall about it. He talks some of this stuff, and there's some good quotes in there, especially for like an older. He's 37 years old, so he's on the older side of things, and it helps shows that like he still loves playing. It helps him not like lose his mind to the disease.
Right. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Because I mean, being terminally ill, it's like, I mean, when I spent a week in the hospital, like, that was driving me insane enough, I can't imagine what it's like to be terminally ill. So yeah, being able to and that was the thing. That's what helped me a lot inside being in the hospital too. It's I played my DS quite a bit in there when I wasn't feeling nauseous from the medication.
Right. And now we got things that are just like helping on all of that front with it was like the Switch, man. The Switch is great.
Right.
You can take it like everywhere. I've always been a big fan of handheld gaming.
Oh yeah,
and that one's just like especially.
Right. Agreed. Well, in other news, I got Nintendo has been targeting a Retro Game Core on the YouTube. That's ran by Russ Crandall, who he's had a very interesting life. He was once a U.S. Navy translator. he had like open heart surgery at some point for an autoimmune disease, and that didn't go well, so he had to like switch to like a crazy restrictive diet, you know, just to be able to live. So like now he switched everything over to YouTube, and he started doing videos on like flashcards and whatnot, and not necessarily, it doesn't seem like he was doing things like showing how to pirate games and get them onto your Switch and whatnot, but more showing like how to back up your game, you know, and like do things in a legal way, and also showing what works on these emulators and flashcards versus what doesn't. So within that, he thought that he was, you know, kind of within these well-established rules of like, yeah, I'm not showing any piracy or anything like that. So it should be fine, but Nintendo's been coming after him recently. So he has 2 takedown strikes now. If he gets the third one, he's done on the YouTube. And like he thought he was so okay that his YouTube manager, because he is a YouTube partner, his manager came to him and was like, oh yeah, we can totally talk to Nintendo about these and see if they're willing to back off, because this sort of stuff has been fine on our platform for years. And apparently Nintendo said no. And so I think it's a reminder here that Nintendo doesn't just follow what's inside of laws of what they need to do to protect their IP, but they do go beyond that
constantly.
Yeah, constantly. So it's something that, like, I don't know, Crandall's apparently debating whether he should fight this, because as far as he sees, he's within the legal limits to do so, and he very probably is, but that's going to be a fight for sure.
That's why they do that a lot, is to,
oh yeah, they can get away with it. And like, you know, with the way that they have their hooks in the industry, I get that they want to protect that, because it's something that, you know, it does get taken advantage of a lot. I mean, look at how much merchandise is sold out there that, you know, Nintendo's never going to recoup the money on, because they come and then they go, right? Like there's so much that I think isn't necessarily fair for, you know, a content creator. And I think that maybe spawns kind of the way that they act in this day and age. But I think they're also just bottom line, they just want to make sure that nobody is able to put out their content other than them.
yeah, I mean, that's their most important thing.
Yeah.
It's all in a bid for protection, and copyright has a lot of like weird things in Japan.
Oh yeah. But I think that if Crandall does decide to fight this, that people should support him. I think people should support him either which way. Go visit his YouTube, get those numbers pumped up. Because like, really, like the sort of content that he's been putting out, I don't see any issue with it. Again, he's not like teaching people how to do anything illegal. He very much tells people like, yeah, you should go buy this game, you shouldn't pirate it. Obviously some of the information that he puts out there could be used for piracy, but he's not promoting that. He never has. So I think it's pretty unfair the way that he's being targeted.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, it's rude. Yeah, and I don't know, for Nintendo to go after it in that way, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, this is what you got to be careful when you start doing stuff like this, you know?
They all have like waves of it too. Like Nintendo will go on like waves of just like banning and putting copyright claims on stuff. So it's hard. Like something will go for a while, and then all of a sudden Nintendo will be like, okay, now they've piled up enough. Let's go ahead and tag all these. Which seems like a way that they're just, which kind of, I'm not saying that they're purposely doing it, at least not Nintendo, but it seems a way for someone to easily abuse the system itself.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes down to like, it probably takes somebody a good amount of time to go through each one and see, you know, like, okay, are they actually doing anything? But see, I don't know. I think they just do it all in once because it's cheaper for them to do it that way, bottom line. But yeah.
Sucks though.
Yeah, it really sucks, especially for somebody who, again, is saying, like, trying to promote people to go buy Nintendo games.
Well, it's one of those things that make it, like, more just obvious of why it's hard to be just, like, a Nintendo fan.
Oh, no, I think every Nintendo fan is conflicted.
Being, like, a Nintendo fanboy on that front, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But they do this stuff, like, all the time.
Yeah. Next, what do you got?
So Ubisoft just quietly launched a NFT game, which I'm sure is definitely gonna help things with their public image that they've been facing.
Right. Yeah, this will fix
I see nothing but good happening from this.
I agree. Nothing but good.
A few of the things that I've read about the game, apparently it kind of functions just like a collecting game. It's very bare bones stuff. But like the little like miniature figures are kind of like tabletop reminiscent, you know, Hero Forge and like little platform based characters. And someone's like, just another good example of like art that's kind of cool that's lost to something so terrible.
I think that's a fair statement.
Ubisoft being dumb and going ahead, and it also shows that like how quick that like little fad wore off, right? Because it takes like a couple years at least for a video game to come out,
right?
So now we're seeing like Ubisoft releasing the game that they were like super excited about a couple years ago, just kind of quietly release it because, well, I guess why not? They need something in their wallets. I don't know. They're not doing good, so this shadow choice boggles my mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, hopefully they take away the NFT portion of the game and just.
Well, it's not. I mean, it released with that stuff going on.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, hopefully, it'd be cool if they could just rip that portion out, though. Just because it's kind of an interesting idea for a game, honestly.
Yeah, well, apparently even that, like, maybe interesting idea, but was not. No one's praised the game.
Oh no.
Let's say.
I'm sure.
I've read a few reviews on it now, and not one have mentioned how great the gameplay is or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear about this game until you put up the article. So.
So I don't know, like, with as much as Ubisoft has been struggling, I don't know, like, why they would release a game that they know that probably wasn't going to sell great.
I don't know.
Like, maybe the whole thing just kind of seems weird to me.
Maybe it flew under their radar too.
They forgot all about it. The actual dev team behind it was like, we should just release it because they forgot all about this game, guys.
Right? Like, I don't know if the marketing team's even in on this. Oh.
Yeah, they don't even have an idea. What else you got?
Yeah. That's it. I only have the two. It's all you the rest of the way.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I saw
As always,
a really funny article.
always.
This one doesn't have much to do with video games, but I thought it was one of the funniest things, and it kind of flies in like technology, so we can get away with putting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Russia fined Google
Oh God, yeah.
2.5 decillion dollars.
Which is, it's trillion, right? Is that what it is?
Trillion.
Yeah. So
I ended up saying about it more money than actually exists on Earth.
oh, but I mean, if they're asking for it in rupees, then it's probably like
no, it's dollars.
No, it's dollars.
Yeah.
It's dollars. That's why I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, but they're asking that much, but it's like $20. Like,
that ain't shit in rupees.
no, they
want real money for it. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
This comes after the back of YouTube getting rid of 2 of their YouTube channels that were like pro Kremlin media channels.
Were they like state sponsored too? I know they were pro Kremlin, but I didn't look into if they were actually like state
There's nothing
sponsored
that says they
channels.
were state sponsored. One is the Stargard and the RIA fan.
I mean, if the state doesn't disappear, you can consider it a tacit sponsorship. Continue living.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because of that, they're but mind you, it did like in 2020, seemingly. They've been gone for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lawsuit against Google after Google blocked their YouTube channels. The punishment, the daily penalty was 100,000 rupees, which doubled each week. And that's where they're saying the fine comes from, because they haven't paid it. And now this is what's out.
Because who's going to?
because it's like $10. It's get over it. Like,
well, I mean, yeah.
But yeah, pretty funny. Obviously, just
So dumb.
nothing to me read like petulant child more than seeing that Russia find them that much money.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's like
What?
that petulant child. You owe me $2.5 decillion now.
Well, I like
You
that.
pay your fine.
In the article that you add, it's, what is it? The World Bank estimates the sum total of the world's GDP last year at $105 trillion. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how much. So, how much would that take? 105 trillion. Oh, that's so many zeros. I can't do the math right now.
No, the gap from that would be farther than it like. For intents and purposes, it's an infinite amount of money. That is an infinite amount of money.
Yeah, that's like,
To get to like the amount of total wealth out there to what they charged is more than like from my budget to that of like Elon Musk.
yeah. Well, I think this would be like just a rough estimate here. I'm pretty sure the sun would freeze over before you could make starting from zero. You could make enough money at the rate of world, how much the world GDP is.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you could pay off Russia. So it's so dumb.
It's just,
oh god.
just a silly thing.
Right.
So
good
Google's
luck
in
to
trouble.
Russia on that one.
Google's in trouble. It has to pay a lot of money.
Well,
Let's see if they do anything about it.
yeah. Well, I don't think they.
Question is, probably not.
No, they're not worried about trying to hit that market.
Are they gonna let Russia channels on?
Right.
We don't care if you leave.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Such a silly thing.
Right.
And there were some new changes to Steam.
Yeah. This is actually the only article that I wanted to talk about that you stole of mine. So.
Oh, hey, I only stole one this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do better next time. Sorry.
See that you do.
Yeah. Valve can no longer, or Valve will be stating whether or not a game has anti-cheat software, including that of like kernel level anti-cheat.
Yeah. Yeah, what's interesting is Valve did actually come out to say that they have been getting this request to have this inside of an easily identifiable place from both developers and gamers. So,
well, I think it's interesting that this news comes kind of on the back of Denuvo going through a bunch of shit,
right,
and trying to defend themselves and say that their product doesn't ruin game performance, and a whole bunch of they're going through a whole bunch.
Yeah,
which I was going to talk about last week, but I ended up not. We ended up not talking about it, but yeah, with Denuvo saying, and everyone gets mad every time like Denuvo's implemented because it's often used for just the like anti-piracy part of it.
Yeah.
So it's silly. It's silly. I don't know what else to say about it, really. I think Denuvo kind of sucks. And it never fails that on all of those things, it's like the game will come with it implemented. It'll have like a big old thing where it gets cracked anyways. So the whole point that they had it on there for is point and already broken.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and then you'll see like the cracked version running better,
right? Because they cracked it.
Than the Denuvo version, because the Denuvo is it's taking up processing power.
Mm-hmm.
For however much they want to admit that it's not doing that sort of stuff, when like our games are asking so much from us already, even that little bit of software is going to put a big dent in stuff.
Right, and I mean that matters a lot because these games are not being optimized anymore. Like so.
Yeah, especially from some of the game developers.
Right.
They're totally being that up. They don't give a shit.
No.
It wouldn't be until like they'll release the game at a state that's some people might be able to run.
And I mean, I do kind of get it because it's like, okay, well, Denuvo, like, it's not there to strictly prevent people from pirating for forever, but I think it's there to buy these companies a little bit more time so that people end up buying the game instead of hacking it. If they can put it off for a month, then sure. I don't know if that necessarily actually helps, but at least that's the hope, right? I think.
I guess you gotta think that the hope is somewhere.
I forgot how to crouch in this game, damn it. But yeah, I don't know, the anti-piracy stuff, like, yeah, with just how it impacts games, I don't know, something else needs to be done. These companies need to figure out something else.
Yeah, it's I get wanting to protect your game even for a little while, but Denuvo's no way to go.
Yeah, well, I mean,
not when it hurts performance as much as it does, and they keep saying it doesn't. They keep trying to say that there isn't, but like,
but there is. There clearly is.
Like I've experienced it. I hate to use like anecdotal stuff, but oh my god, like anyone I know who's like had it, there's a reason why when people find out that there's Denuvo on it, the reviews start going towards the negative, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's some studies that need to be done or something, but I don't know. It's a crappy system. I don't think it should be used. But
yeah, I don't think it should be used either. And you're seeing more like companies use the whole like, oh, we don't use Denuvo. Look how great we are. When that starts hitting advertisement, you know that thing isn't working in your favor anymore, you know?
No. But it's good that we can see right off the bat, like on the Steam store page. So this appears like underneath all the like the usual info of, you know, is it co-op, controller support, stuff like that. So yeah, you get to see that little bit of info now on there.
I think more information is better, right?
Yeah, like, I think so.
We can praise these decisions that give us the consumers more information.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we choose to like
use it and utilize it, and
that chooses to be like something that informs our judgment on the purchase or not. Like a good one for that is like the PSN sign in.
Right.
Like I have a PlayStation account, so that stuff usually doesn't bother me, but I understand where these people are coming from. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do too. I mean, like, I still get a little frustrated when I see those pop up. I'm like, fine. It's just annoying,
especially for single player games. I guess that happened recently with the what was it, Horizon Zero Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
The re-release of that just came out here.
Yeah,
really recently, with like the upgraded graphics and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the old one got taken offline. The old one got taken off Steam, and this one requires a PSN login. So
yeah, like, that's right.
What the fuck?
Right. Yeah. The whole requirement that it needs that, it's ridiculous, to say the least, in my opinion.
Any single player game shouldn't necessarily require any bit of that.
No.
At all.
Again, like, I'm okay with ridiculous. You wanting it, you know, but requirement, ugh.
It seems ridiculous. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why does my I got so mad at Blizzard and their like BattleNet storefront because of its online capabilities. Like I couldn't play Diablo just offline. Like when I didn't have online there for a little while, I was like, oh, you know, but I have this installed. I had the game installed, but I couldn't do anything with it because I had to log into my Blizzard account.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't because I can't get online. So
yeah.
I couldn't play my single player game.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Welcome to the new
it's
world.
Good, though. We're seeing more companies like that's become such a thing that you're seeing like game developers have to talk about that stuff and make decisions about what the post or their post plans for their game, what they plan to do when their game is no longer or when they go to leave their game.
Yeah, right.
In another state of that, you had the State of Decay just did their like last big patch for their game, and they're dropping all like support. But this last patch like gets rid of anything that would impede people from playing it, even including like seasonal content. It just unlocks all the seasonal content.
Really? That's pretty cool.
So that like they don't have to keep up with that. You don't have to worry about because they're dropping service on it and no one's there to hit the season change button. All that content is still there and available. So you're seeing games like do that stuff, and it's nice.
That is nice. That's pretty cool. I'm all about that. Yeah, that's something that they don't have to do, but definitely thumbs up to them for doing that.
I think it'll help them.
Right?
Things like that help. Or at least for public relations stuff.
Yeah.
You get people who like you and want your games. But that was it for me, really. It's been kind of it was kind of a slow week for news.
Yeah. Well, with that, let me just do real quick. We got some release dates here. I didn't go through and like look at all of these games because there's actually quite a bit coming out this week. But let's see. We got Mario and Luigi Brothership. That's coming out on the Switch on the 7th. So that'll be on this Thursday.
That's cool. I always like the Mario and Luigi games.
Right. Good stuff. We also got Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival. That's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC. And other than the ones that I really wanted to mention, yeah, all the other ones are there's stuff that I need to look into a little bit more, but we'll leave it at that for now. Oh, and also the Witches Festival does go until the 6th, so this Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So I might have to hop in there and do that quest. Because I just love the crows. Any interaction with the crows, I'll take it. They're my favorite part of the Elder Scrolls universe by far. I don't know. There's something about characters that are so dumb that think they are so smart. Just gets me every time.
I now understand why we're friends.
Love you, Christian.
It makes sense. Saying anything bad by it, just
yeah. So we'll get into our weeks. What we've been playing, what we've been doing. I only have a few things. It's been slow for me.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd have more.
I had a decent amount, I guess.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, really? No, not really.
No, not really.
I guess I could start it.
Yeah, you start it.
Start out.
Let's see. I am currently playing the new DLC for Vampire Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
The Ode to Castlevania. Playing the Ode to Castlevania stage, and I'm playing as one of the Belmonts. I don't know which one, but one of them.
It apparently has all the Belmonts, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like, so I think I got it for like just under $4 because it came off with like a little bit of a discount.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just under $4 for the DLC, which is one of their more expensive ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth it. There's like 30 new characters. Almost all of them are a Belmont of some sort. But there's also like Alucard, and there's a whole bunch of other characters from a bunch of the games. A whole bunch of weapons, along with their like upgraded forms and all that.
Yeah.
And then it came with a big, like the biggest stage yet. That has a big old Castlevania feel. It looks like a Castlevania map. And parts of the map are even in like it goes to a side-scrolling mode, which kind of can throw you off a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
But the map is pretty fun. This one has like little bosses that you can go fight,
Mm-hmm.
which are all bosses from Castlevania. If you're a Castlevania fan, you'll recognize them pretty quickly. So super fun. I've been having a blast with it. There's still a lot to unlock. Because I've only done a few runs, but it's been a good time. I always enjoy Vampire Survivors. And I love Castlevania. So
a good mix
blend of the two.
Yep.
Let's see.
Your screen looks so insane right now.
There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. But I don't have to pay attention to much of it. There might be a lot happening, but I'm just blah blah blah.
Right, that's kind of the joy of that game. Good stuff.
Let's see. I also the full release for one of my other favorite little indie games, Zero Sievert, came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a little extraction, like top-down extraction shooter game.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty fun game. And they added a lot for the 1.0. There's like a lot of ease of life stuff. And then they had like weapon. You can actually level up in your like weapons and stuff now. Some cool new skills and building your like little room at the base has more options than it did when it was just in early access. I put like 80 hours into that game in early access.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already putting more hours in now. But I like a lot of the changes. They changed some of like the weapons have more realistic like density. I don't know if that's the right word. Like weapon ranges of your weapons are a bit more accurate.
Okay.
Like shooting a shotgun isn't going to do much damage at a far range.
Yeah.
It's having like that drop off. But for everything else included, it's fun though. Pretty fun little game. Pretty difficult if you don't get killed by boars. Like 20 times. You're playing that game wrong. And then I picked up, you had talked about it last week, the game Sulfer.
Yeah, Sulfer.
Which is also a little like extraction shooter, although that one's more first person. And this one has a bit more of like roguelike elements to it.
Yeah.
It came out in early access. I feel like specifying that because it's kind of rough. I think it definitely needs some I think the game is fun. I've put about 8 hours into it, 9 hours in. And it definitely has its fun and charm and stuff, but it is like unbalanced as fuck. Like sometimes I'll go into the first stage and right away get mobbed by like big creatures. And other times I'll walk in and there'll be like almost nothing to fight on the first stage. And you have to go at least 4 levels down before you can extract.
Oh, okay.
And it has a pretty high punishment thing. You'll like lose anything you took with you. So it can be kind of punishing. It's kind of rough. I hope they do something about that balance because it's just a little lopsided. Like I can head in with some awesome guns and be outdone in like the first 2 stages just because of the randomization and the off balance. But overall I've enjoyed it. It was a fairly cheap little game, so
it's still just $20, right?
Yeah, I think I even got it on sale, so it was like a little cheaper than that. But
like the super introductory offer.
Yeah, I think it was, like I said, only a little cheaper than that. I think it was like 17 or something like that. But I think it's got some good bones. It has some fun like weapon modding stuff. They kind of have when it comes to that, kind of have a like almost Borderlands feel of some of the mods that your weapon can have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like one that I picked up that was like added bounces to your bullet.
Oh.
So your bullet would bounce to like other targets and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah. I do like that feature in Borderlands, so.
So it has an interesting its weapon system is pretty fun, but it is just like genuinely kind of difficult sometimes because you can lose that great weapon pretty quick on like just hopping into the first stage and the balance just being thrown off completely. And other times I'll walk through it with getting like not really any items or anything, but I'll reach the extraction point and like no big issue. So it's just like really unbalanced. I want to like that game, so I hope it does.
Well, okay,
so I hope it does good as far as updating patches go.
Yeah, so they got a lot on their roadmap. So I mean, obviously they did their first release. So their plan next is to do a bunch of patching and whatnot. Then they're gonna release a deep woods area. Then they're looking to bring some additional guns and magic. At that point, they want to then bring 3 new areas, which they call Fortress, Desert, and Revenge. And then from there, they'll end that up with an endless mode. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of patches and fixes in between. And then if they meet their stretch goals, then they'll do multiplayer.
I want to see balance out of all of it. Like I think the thing needs most is some balance when it comes from stage to stage.
Yeah, hopefully that's on their list as part of their quote unquote fixing shit.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure I'm not the only person to have announced that frustration with it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I really like the game. I think it's fun, but it can get thrown off so fast. Well, rewatching What We Do in the Shadows. Because the new season came out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm just kind of
I think I'll be starting that up next week. So and I go pretty slowly on those ones, so it might take me a while.
New seasons are pretty good so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think we get a new episode tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, it's on Mondays. Yeah. Monday nights, new episodes.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure.
I started reading this new book series, which I have found quite pleasant. It's the book series is called Heretical Fishing.
Heretical Fishing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's about like this like rich business guy from Earth, who like his dad is like some like tech billionaire corporate guy.
Okay.
And he's like the heir to that, and kind of saw how like he wanted to try and make things like better for both like consumers and just like people in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a no-go for the board. You don't make things better at a slight cost to them,
right?
And I specify slight cost. So they like kick him out, and he decides that fine, he just wants to like learn how to go fish and spend the rest of his life just happy fishing and with some friends. And the day he decides to go ahead and do that, he goes and learns how to fish. And the first day he goes fishing, it turns out all right, but on his way home, he gets hit by a semi-truck crossing the road.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah, and he gets whisked to another world.
Yeah, I bet he does.
Yeah. But in this new world, apparently there was some issue with the gods, and the gods of the ocean apparently turned on humanity.
That's rude.
Like a long time ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't live off of the sea at all in that world.
Sounds like
to
my
do
kind
so
of
is kind of like to live off of the sea at all is you know,
frowned
heretical.
upon.
It's heresy. But he shows up, and that's all he wants to do. So he starts doing that. It's pretty fun. It's like in the veins of like it is a lit RPG, but it also feels kind of like an anti one, because our main hero wants like almost nothing to do with it. He like ignores the like system messages. He doesn't want to be a hero. Again, all he wants to do is like fish off of the beach and like cook seafood and eat that with like friends he makes. That's like all he wants. So he's like the main character, but he's also like not there for any of the big things. It's very like just flies against the grain on like those type of stories. But he makes a bunch of cute, if you like cute animals that become like sentient and even more adorable because of it. Like it's one song away from being just a Disney movie.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's fun. Lots of like really good descriptive scenes of like them like cooking and eating food. So if you're like a cook or like food, even if you might not like seafood, because a lot of what they're describing is seafood.
Yeah.
But the way they do it and stuff is really, really good, really over the top, really fun.
A foodie's dream.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool though. There's like a bunch of pets now. I'm on like about to finish the second book, and there's a third book coming out later on this month.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a number of really cool pets. The first one he gets is like a crab. He gets like a little crab buddy, who he names man, what does he name him? Not Professor Snips.
Sergeant Snips.
Sergeant Snips, that was it.
Oh. I appreciate that name.
Yeah, and then he makes friends with an otter.
Do they hold hands constantly?
Who?
I don't think he's another otter.
Well, he cuddles with that otter.
They cuddle. He cuddles with that otter like all the time. That otter. All these animals are like super loving, especially to him.
Mm-hmm.
So they all have that cuteness factor. But Corporal Claus, the otter,
Corporal Claus, that's so good.
is also a little trickster and a little devious, a little mischievous.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little rascal.
He's a little rascal. There's also another crab that likes to get disciplined by his mistress, which is the other awakened crab.
Okay, yeah. That sounds good. I'm about it.
There's now there's actually now two pelicans. One's like a full grown pelican, the other one's like a little baby that just hatched in the book. There's a bumblebee and a honeybee. The honeybee is a queen bee. They're both awakened and sentient, so they like wave and are expressive. There's even a tree that's expressive and has sentience. And he got a dog recently, which was actually, I thought was kind of cute. He got a hellhound. Our main character got a hellhound. Because the hellhound was actually like the big bad of the first book. Or not the big bad, but ended up being like the big threat at the end of the first book.
Mm-hmm.
And they thoroughly kick its butt. Like all the animals together kick its butt. Because again, our main character doesn't do anything. He's not even in the final fight. Except for in one part where he kind of stumbles out of his house all drunk. And like passes out. That's like it.
So he's like Bilbo in the Battle of the Five Armies, basically.
Yeah, more or less. Thinking it's just a grand old time. But yeah, that was it's been a lot of fun. But his hellhound can change shapes into like different dogs. Take on the form of a different dog species. And when it comes back in the second book to try and be friends with them, because this dog is sad, he's like the only hellhound left, and he misses his like pack. And after having his, getting his butt kicked by this group of animals that are clearly acting as like a pack, he wants to go join them. And when he shows up, he tries to choose the most ferocious dog breed. So to do this, he explores the mind of our main character to figure out what our main character thinks is the most fierce dog breed. And it leaps at him and transforms into a Chihuahua.
Nice.
When I think of fierce dog breeds,
That's the fiercest. That is the fiercest dog breed. It's Chihuahua. Most certainly is.
Their teeth hurt. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, those little spaz psychos. But no, he can switch. He can switch, and he turns into a Chihuahua to be all like intimidating and fierce, and try and win their approval at first. Of course, our main character is just like, what the fuck is that, a Chihuahua now? And so now they're like friends and all that. They're running around, and he changes forms like all the time. So he was showing his friends the other species of dog on Earth, and he chose to show them. He showed them a Great Dane, and they were like, "What the fuck is that? What fucking dog is that?" And then because of their reaction to the Great Dane, he went ahead and showed them the Borzoi. Have you seen one of those? Mm-mm. They look kind of like Great Danes, but they got like the hair and the fur, and they're like really long.
No, I'm not familiar with these. I'll have to look it up.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Andrew?
I do not know. I think you made it up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Borzoi's dogs.
Yeah.
There's a lady who has a bunch of shorts on them about her ugly dogs. Her worms.
No, they're adorable.
They are adorable dogs. But they are in that they're so ugly, they're cute. Sort of way.
Like David Schwimmer.
Like David Schwimmer. Exactly like David Schwimmer.
Actually, now that you say that, I do see this resemblance with David Schwimmer and these dogs.
It works.
It does.
Anyways, it's a pretty cute book series that I've been reading, been getting into. And I hope that continues to be good and entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
We watched Terrifier 3.
Was it terrifying?
It was scary as all hell.
I don't really get scared of horror movies anymore.
I've
gotten pretty jaded.
No, there's no real. I don't know. It's one of those ones that are gory for gory's sake, and they know what they know what they are. Like, it's fun. They're fun.
The movie is very aware of what it is. Yeah.
This one's taking place around Christmas time, where the original took place on Halloween. The first.
Wait, did you guys talk about this last week, or were you guys talking about this?
I must have talked about it last night.
I'm pretty sure we did talk about it last week. Yeah. Or did we?
Timmy? No, I think we just talked about it last night.
Yeah, I'm getting confused between the party and last week.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it over the party. Yeah.
Because I don't think we watched it.
I don't think we'd watched it yet.
I don't think we'd watched it by last podcast.
Yeah.
I think we watched it like that Saturday. After
we might have watched it like right after watching or doing the podcast last week. But, which I enjoyed. It was fun horror movie. It's really about it for me. That's about all I did.
Andrew, you want to go next? You want me to go next?
I can go next. I don't really have much more to report on than what Christian talked about.
That's okay, me neither. So
covered a lot of the stuff that I'm also watching. So, I picked up a couple little indie games just for funsies. There's this game I'm playing here right now, the Karate Survivor.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Survive with your karate skills. It's okay. It's kind of fun. Got to put like different moves together and get bonuses if you put them together correctly.
It looks interesting, I'll tell you that much.
It's pretty good. I mean, it is at its core just a survivor's game. It's not really reinventing the mold on that at all. Although the environmentals are really important. There's a lot of using the environment to attack people. Just been kind of nice.
Yeah.
Stuff we can like pick up off the ground and use as weapons and stuff. It's fun. I like the style.
Yeah, the style looks pretty cool.
It's all very 80s kung fu flick.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Even the character looks like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm sure it is entirely intentional. I mean, it does its like theming pretty well. It's pretty fun. It is just a survivors game. This is what I've been playing instead of Vampire Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's an enjoyable little game. I got this, and I got World, which I haven't played very much of. But World seemed kind of cool. Where you like climb up the side of a wall, and you have to mine into it and fend off hordes of bugs. That's World.
I like bugs.
It seemed kind of interesting. It wasn't like the coolest game I've ever seen, or the coolest game I've ever played, but it's kind of fun. The controls were a bit wonky. It has quote unquote controller support, but the controller does not work well on that World game. Works very well on the Survivors game, but I mean, I guess that makes sense. There's just pretty much just a direction stick that you need for Survivors games. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
But I had to do mouse and keyboard on that game, and that was fine too. Still works fine.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else have I been up to? I think that's about it. Christian pretty much covered the stuff that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm forgetting anything, probably not. Maybe. You watch anything else, Christian? Oh, there was one TV show I checked out that was bad, and I didn't like it. Let me look at the name of that.
Took one for the team.
I thought it might be interesting, but it was not. I checked out last night. The Franchise.
The Franchise?
Boy, and it seemed like something that, like, if it was like a good satire, or I don't know, funny, then it might be really fun for us all to watch because you guys like those Marvel movies. But it's a TV show about like producing franchise superhero movies.
Gotcha.
We're just following the like behind the scenes stuff of it. I watched the pilot episode. It's an HBO comedy. It's one of those like it's one of those comedies that's too smart to be funny, you know? Where it's like it's funny and it's decent enough satire, but it's not ha funny. Like at no point during the show did it make me laugh at all.
Yeah.
And the characters are kind of likable and everything, but I don't know. It's just like HBO really struggles with making comedies. I think they try and put a little bit too much life and drama into it, and it makes it a lot less funny. I want my comedies quirky and slapstick. If I wanted, just make an hour-long drama and with some comedic elements, and you don't have to like worsen your drama by trying to squeeze it into a comedy formula. It doesn't seem to be working. Maybe the show gets better. I only watched the first episode, but I mean, most of the stuff I found that was funny, and it was just like just making fun of how they produce superhero movies.
Yeah, it's not enough for you to continue watching.
No, I don't think I'll continue watching it. I mean, maybe if I'm bored, but
you run out of other things to do.
I saw the pilot, and it just did not grab me.
Yeah,
maybe it's good. I don't know. Episode 4 just came out. It's airing now.
Oh, so it's like just starting. Okay,
just started. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, you can tell me how wrong I am down in the comments. Like, you just don't get this show, man.
You just don't understand art, bro.
Yeah. So if that's what's going on, if I'm not understanding the art, you let me know down in the comments. That probably is what it is. I just don't get it.
Do you even know what good TV is?
I thought I did. There's just so much of it now. I'm really struggling to find it. But yeah, watch that. It was bad. Or I guess not bad. I mean, bad is kind of like a mean review of the show. It was fine.
It's just like, not good.
It's not good. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not really that funny.
It's extremely mid.
It's like aggressively so. Very close to making jokes and they don't make those jokes.
No cap.
No cap. But yeah, I mean the new season, What We Do in the Shadows, has been really fun. Quite liking that. It's as good as any of the other seasons.
That's good. Although that's gonna make me really sad. In the end.
I mean, at least they know the show's ending.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's 6 seasons and a movie. Like, they did pretty well. I'm surprised Wellington Paranormal got 4 seasons. That show was... I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't... I don't think... Especially the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's nearly as good as What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
And they're both kind of the same thing. They're both spin-off shows of the What We Do in the Shadows movie.
Mm-hmm.
Although... Wellington Paranormal definitely had, like, no budget. At least What We Do in the Shadows has, like, season. FX money, but yeah, it's obvious they have no budget whatsoever for that show. Which is fine. I mean, it is...
Yeah, sometimes that makes it more fun.
With that in mind, and what they do with the show to get around those budget constraints is really fun, and I like it. I think they do a good job with the show considering... They had like, I think they do a really good job considering that they had like no money to make that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, franchise on HBO, meh. Unless you're really into like movie production, and you want a little slice of life of behind the scenes and what it takes to make a movie. I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone else. That seems to be the only people that it's an industry show. It's very people made it for people who have any interest in the industry.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because conceptually it could have been really fun, but honestly I think The Boys does a better job of satiring superhero franchises than this TV show that's supposed to be specifically about that does. So, you know, take that as for the quality of this show.
Yeah. Noted.
And that's it. That's all I did this week. Super lame week.
That's okay. It's a super lame week for me too.
I went over to your place on Friday night and got kind of drunk.
Yeah.
And really high. You were there.
I was there. It was good times.
You watched me get smoked at Mario Party.
Man, what happened was I was not expecting Zoe to make a comeback like that, honestly.
I had no idea what I was doing.
I was pushing.
That's okay.
I was pushing for that to happen because I stood no chance.
Just make sure the person who wasn't first doesn't get to win.
Yeah, I like playing that sometimes. You know, you just the troller. Yeah, there you go. The chaos roll. Yep, I like that for sure.
I'm just there to cause chaos.
Okay.
You're like, it's like being
well, yeah, if you've got to the
Bowser
point where
Jr.
Like, you're still playing the game, but you know you're not going to win. Yeah, you might as well just sow as much chaos as you can.
Yep. Well, yeah, because
that's why I use that like changing the tower card.
Yeah.
Just right away, just to screw them over. Zoe and Brienne were up there. It's like, yeah,
I know. I can't believe that she goaded her into betting stars. It did make it more interesting, though.
That did, yeah, that did make the wager quite a bit more interesting. Yeah. Racing for pink slips.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, good times. Those good times. Let's see. Okay, so what did I do? What did you do? Good question.
What did
you do?
Thinking here. Oh, first off, can I express some dissatisfaction with Amazon?
Of course.
Not while we're streaming on Twitch.
It's okay. We're also streaming on YouTube. So if we get caught off on one, we're still going on the other.
We'll be exclusively streaming on YouTube for a
bit. No, so yeah, I ordered. So I think I talked about this a while back, where I ordered a new water cooler for my computer because I initially bought the wrong size. It's just a little too big for my computer, so I had it mounted in kind of this really dumb way. But I finally got a new one that's the correct size for my computer, but there's no indication on the webpage that I was getting a refurbished one, but they sent me a refurbished one, and the box and everything was all fine, but inside it was not the correct model of water cooler. So that was a little disappointing. Thankfully they just took the return, so there is at least that.
Amazon's pretty easy on that shit, honestly.
Yeah. They
remember when we tried to order a couple TVs off Amazon, Christian?
And yeah, we went through like 6 TVs.
Yeah, we went through 6 TVs to get one that worked. I gave up on getting a TV from it, and just like, oh fuck it, go ahead. And
that ended up working in our favor though. I ended up getting the refund back for both of the TVs. And getting
all said and done, we did end up with a free TV. Yeah. Well, Christian ended up with a free TV. I didn't end up with shit.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, that is the best part about Amazon. They're usually like, all right, fine, just send it back, or sometimes don't even send it back.
We'll just, send it, as long as you just want an exchange, they're like, yeah, just send it back and we'll just send you a new one.
Yeah.
Getting a straight up refund's a bit more tricky.
Well, unfortunately for this, it was actually, they only did a refund. So I have to send the one back. They didn't want to do just an exchange for whatever reason. I'm sure it's because it ended up coming from one of their like Amazon sellers, so it has to go back under them. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how any of that crap works either, really.
Yeah, but
probably something like that though.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of, honestly. Yeah, so, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but again, the fact that it said that, like, it came in a refurbished box, and I even went back, because, like, at first I was like, oh, yeah, of course I'd buy something refurbished, because it's cheaper. Why not? Like, I usually don't care. But yeah, then to go back to the page and see, like, oh, no, I bought it new. I don't think I've had an order this bad in a while, if maybe ever. But yeah, hopefully they send me the right one this time. So once I get the new one in, I'll send back the old one. And hopefully it'll all be fine, but just a little annoying. Other than that, I played a lot actually of The Walking Dead Telltale game, which I talked about briefly earlier. Man, it's just every time that I go back to it, I love this game so much. It's so good. Just the story is amazing. Like, it was really weird though, because in chapter, so we're on season 3. In chapter, I think it was chapter 2. It might have been chapter 2. It could have been chapter 3. For some reason, that one chapter was super buggy. Like, just left and right were frame drops everywhere, the entire game. But once I like the chapter before it and the chapter after it, everything else has been fine. But yeah, I think the reason why I stopped is because you start off this season playing with completely new characters. Clementine isn't around at all. And so I think it wasn't like something that was calling me back, because I was like, oh, how long am I going to go without seeing Clementine? Apparently where I'd last stopped was like minutes before you run into Clementine. So but yeah, that being said, it's super fun. I'm super enjoying it. Scud's been playing it on his stream, so it kind of inspired me to pick it up again. And yeah, I can't recommend it any higher, honestly.
The Batman Telltale was good.
Oh, so good. That's why I want to play more of the, like, I want to finish Walking Dead. I want to go on to the other Telltale stuff, because they do a great job at storytelling, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, sure, the engine's super buggy.
I mean, it's hard to call them games.
They're games-ish. They're choice makers. They're interactive storytelling. It's like those old choose your own adventure books, but in video game form.
Yeah.
And so it's fun. Although honestly, the choose your own adventure books, sometimes those stories are really short because you die immediately. It's good stuff. Other than that, Mario Party, which I've been super enjoying. It's good stuff. I'm playing some more of that Kong Survival, which is really good. I finally got to a part where, oh shoot, what's the spider's name again?
Shelob.
Damn it, we went through this last time. That's right.
It's the only spider I know.
Right, Abaddon, is that right? Yeah, Abaddon.
What's that spider in Charlotte?
Oh, that is a good one.
That's a spider whose name I know as well. That's it, though. I run out of spider names.
Yeah. I mean, there's the other Lord of the Rings one. I kind of remember that one. What is it? Ungoloth. Ungoloth. Yeah.
Doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So at some point, you get to call Kong to battle Abaddon, which was really cool. It's a nice little touch.
That is kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like a big scene, but it's enough for you to go like, yeah, this is what I want.
What I signed on for, yeah.
So yeah, that's going well. Other than that, finished Agatha All Along. And that was really a lot more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be in the end. Cause it's just a bunch of magic stuff, you know. I think it's my second favorite Marvel TV show. Cause it does a lot to really not be like so involved with the rest of Marvel. Like, it's very, very separate, but then there is quite a bit that ties into WandaVision. So it manages to feel like it's the second season of WandaVision, which I'm sure there's never going to be a second season of anyways. So yeah, so that was actually pretty cool in that regard. And yeah, if you're into the Marvel stuff, or even I don't know, I think even if you're like into just witches in general, you know, magic stuff,
the only
it's
thing
really fun.
that at all has me interested in that is the fact that Aubrey Plaza is in it.
Oh, and her character is so amazing. I will not spoil anything, but she does it.
Slight crush for Aubrey Plaza and her quirky awkwardness.
And she like the way that she brings that out in this. It's like completely appropriate for her character, as well as just being like awesome, right? Because it's Aubrey Plaza being awkward and quirky.
Yeah, I guess I have a thing.
So yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, I think that's really it for me. Yeah, I don't got anything else that I can think of.
Well, I won, clearly.
Oh no, clearly you did. Yeah.
Are we winning?
I don't know. I just feel like I should be winning.
Wow.
He won. Who takes the longest to talk about their week?
Oh yeah, no, I think you did. You did take that one this week. Good job.
Seems rude.
Usually that ends up like
Say
I'll
it
take
that
that
way.
one because they get real rambly on shit.
I just don't really like the way you said it that way, though.
What do you mean? It's fine.
Seems
Yeah, I'm not
rude.
saying you got rambly on shit. I just do that.
It happens. We're all a little rambly sometimes.
I don't ramble right now about my rambling. Who will stop me?
Meta rambling. Yeah, guess we'll call that a week. Thank you everyone for joining us. Oh shit, I'm fighting a ninja. Things got real here now all of a sudden.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, we'll talk at you again soon. Next week. Maybe we'll do it on time because we won't be all hungover. I was the hungover one. I don't know if you guys were hungover.
I didn't feel too bad yesterday. That was fine.
Yeah, that's good. Well, so my
I was a little tired. I don't usually stay up that late, but
yeah. No, my dumbass made like a really strong drink and then like went to bed.
I'm sure that was fun.
Yeah, no. I mean, I did drink a glass of water, but only a glass of water, so
Oh.
it didn't help as much. I mean, it probably would have been way worse, but yeah, there's that. So yeah, catch us here on the YouTube, the Twitch, also on our website, classicgamingbrain.com. And yeah, catch you guys next week. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
What a bunch of nerds.
Goodbye.
Did you say
Wait,
we're a
us or
bunch of nerds?
yeah.
Yes.